I hope everybody's well. Everybody's been taking care of themselves and being healthy. Today we're going to do something really special. We're going to do some Moroccan cookies. Right, Muriel?
Right. Hi, everybody.
Right.
So we're going to do two types of cookies, where one type of cookie and one type of pastry. One is my mother-in-law's recipe and one is my mom's recipe. So today we're bringing the two moms in our kitchen and we show you a little bit of our tradition.
Tradition.
I'm going to wait just a few more minutes for a few more people to join us.
Yes.
And then after that, because we're a few minutes early, okay. I'm drinking my coffee.
She's really telling you everything step by step, eh? Right now, I'm drinking my coffee.
So I can stay up.
Yeah.
I got
So
all
what do
my
we have there? What do
stuff
we have
ready.
here? Like we have
We have
white icing sugar.
we have the ingredients for the first recipe, which is a dry finger cookie. And I'm gonna say the ingredients in a few minutes, just like I said, waiting for a few more people
Mark
to
is
join
there
us.
is in the house and he wants to show his wife how to
He
that
wants
he
to
knows,
show off.
He wants to show off and tell his wife that he knows how to make cookies.
Because he's a very caring man. He gives flowers to his wife. He takes her out for dinner. They went out last night.
Nothing is a secret around here. Everything is known.
Mark, continue showering your wife with love.
All right, take it easy. I do that all the time. Okay, Muriel, you have 30 seconds and we start the show. But you gotta tell everybody what you have.
Did you do the watch party? Great.
My
Anybody on
boyfriend's
the
back
Daddy-
and you're gonna be in trouble.
Any on Daddy's Facebook page?
Just go ahead, you know what? Everybody's watching you. Be careful what you say.
So it's 4 o'clock and we're gonna start because some people joined us on time and I don't want to make them wait. So like I said, we're going to be preparing finger cookies and peanut truffle baked sort of Moroccan treat. One of them is my mother-in-law's recipe and the other one is my mom's recipe. So I'm going to start with my mother-in-law's recipe, and this one is for the finger cookies. So I was always fascinated with how quickly and how easily she prepared this cookie recipe. Every time she would come to visit us, I would ask her to sit down next to me in the kitchen when the kids were sleeping, and she would show me all kinds of recipes. And that's how I kept a little bit of my mother-in-law's recipes, and that's how I can keep them in our tradition and show them to my children and right now to everybody. So this recipe is easy. It actually has 4 eggs. So I already cracked and checked 3 eggs, and I'm going to show you what I do with my eggs. So before I use them, I make sure that there's no blood and that they're perfect clean eggs, and then after that I put them in my bowl and I check them one at a time in a glass bowl. That way I'm sure that when I crack them in the bowl, I don't contaminate the other ones if there's one that's not good. Along with the 4 eggs, I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to add 1 cup of oil. I'm just going to go get the oil.
I will bring the oil to the counter so that she doesn't have to walk all the way over there.
Don't pour it.
But I won't pour it.
No, there's not a
She
cup.
says don't pour it because there's not a cup. You have to be precise in the measuring. We still have a quarter or a little third here missing. We're gonna get. We're coming right back. Don't leave. So in the meantime, while she gets the oil, I have to tell you these cookies are a staple in our home because it goes great with tea, dipped, and even my grandson now loves them because they are so delicious and so easy, and they get mushy a little bit when you dip them in the tea, and it's a great way of. My mother always says it's a great way to make you fatter, you know? Well, you know, right? Isn't that the right way she said?
No, she didn't, but that's okay.
Okay, that was good.
It's just a great cookie to have with coffee or tea at any time of the day. It's great if you're grabbing one in the morning before you have your breakfast, just because if you're not a morning breakfast person, that's a great little snack to have with your cookie. Or mid-afternoon, or even after tea and after supper, just because those cookies are also non-dairy, they're parve, and you can have them with anything. So again, in the cookie recipe, we have 4 eggs, we have 1 cup of sugar, we have 1 cup of oil, and now I'm going to put 1 pack of baking powder. Just because not everybody uses this type of baking powder, I'm gonna measure to tell you guys how much is in there. So it's 2 teaspoons. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm going to mix all of this. And no, but I'm gonna ask you if you can get me the vanilla extract that's on the door on the right. So to this, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Thank you. There we go. Okay. So to that, I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm just mixing so that all the eggs and the sugar and the oil gets combined. But I don't want to whip them or anything like that. It's not necessary. I just want to get them together. And now I'm going to add the flour. So I'm going to try to take a measure as I'm going along, but with flour it's a little bit tricky. Your flour can be denser, your room could be more humid, your eggs could be a little bit smaller than the ones that I'm using, and really I don't want you to be so specific with the quantity that I'm going to tell you with the flour. You really have to try to get the dough to the consistency that it's not hard and it's not sticky and it's just right, and it enables you to form the cookie dough properly. So we're gonna try to measure and see how much flour we need for this quantity of liquid ingredients, but depending again on your environment, try to make sure that you go gradually and you stop whenever your dough is where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna start incorporating a little bit of flour at a time. I'm going to measure 2 cups of water to begin with. Flour, sorry. What did I say?
Water.
Water.
That's why I'm here.
So again, I'm pretty sure we're gonna need those first 2 cups, so I can easily put them in. If you really want to, you can sift your flour, but those cookies, you don't really need them. You don't really need to do that. It's a very easy given recipe that is beginner foolproof.
Beginner proof.
Beginner proof.
Yeah. Yeah, you can even say that David, my brother, actually we went to his house.
Oh yeah, so last week it was a beautiful day and started to resume to see a little bit of the family, still keeping social distancing and being careful and wearing masks. But my brother-in-law has a beautiful home along the water, and he and his wife host us often on Sundays when we just want to relax because it's a beautiful environment, a great scenery. And we went there and everybody was just relaxing. And I said to my brother-in-law, because I know that during the quarantine and he stopped working and he started to experiment with some cookie recipes and bread and everything. And he really loves to try to learn things. So I told him, I said, do you want me to show you my cookie recipe and make you some bread for Shabbat? He was so excited, stood next to me on his, next to his island, took a little notebook with a pen and a pencil and started to jot down the recipe and the steps and all the little tricks. And then yesterday we saw him and his wife again, and he had baked that morning a batch of cookies to show up and to tell me.
And
look,
they were good.
They were delicious. They were
delicious.
very well made. Yeah. They looked beautiful, and he did a great job.
So that means if he can do it, you can. Anybody can, right?
Right.
Yes.
So again, I already put 2 cups, and it's very liquidy still. So we're going to continue incorporating some flour.
How many more cups this time? 2 cups again?
I'm going to go gradually, but I'm putting 2 more cups in my container. I added 1 more cup, so I'm about 3 cups in. Again, you want the dough to get to form a nice ball, not too stiff, but not sticky that you can't work it, because those cookies, although you know, if you do the dough in the KitchenAid and you have the attachment to take the cookies out like a log and cut them, you can actually do it with the machine. But this is a 1 bowl recipe that can easily be made like I'm doing it now by hand, and can easily be shaped by hand, which is what I'm going to show you we're going to do today. Okay, so I definitely need
4 cups.
my other cup.
So we're up to 4 cups of flour, really.
Right.
With the amount of eggs you put in and all the rest of the stuff. Yes, Rose. Hello, Rose. We're asking Eric Zunder. Yeah, I hope you're learning how to make cookies too. It's a great way of treating your family for and like showing them how to bake and how to cook during these quarantine times. I think it's wonderful, especially if they're not going to camp. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So this cookie recipe, actually, if you find out one morning that you have somebody joining you early afternoon for a visit or whatever, they're so easy to make that you can whip them up very quickly and have fresh cookies ready for when your guests come over.
You want some more?
Yeah, I'm gonna have
a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me how much, like maybe more. Just tell
Put
everybody.
me 1 cup for now.
Yeah.
So my dough is still sticky. I'm going to continue to gradually add some flour.
You see 1 more cup over here. That makes it 5 cups of flour so far.
Well, I'm going to add half of a cup because I'm not too sure I'm going to need the full cup of flour.
Anyways, the recipes will be written down and be sent also. So you might want to keep an eye out for that.
So I added half a cup to the 4 cups. I'm up to 4.5 cups myself for the size of eggs and the oil and the sugar that I added. And I can see that there's a dough that's starting to shape up. It's still a tiny bit sticky, but I still have a little bit of flour on the bottom of my dough, that the bottom of my bowl that I'm trying to incorporate. So
Tilt it a little bit so they can see.
no, I'm in one of my.
We can even do a little bit of a screening.
So I'm gonna add a little bit more because it's still a little bit sticky.
This is how you do to make the cookies. All right. Look at that. Same way you make bread and everything else, really, right?
Well, you wanna
Different ingredients, of course, a little
you
bit.
wanna shape it into a ball. Yeah, you're right. It's about the same concept. You add your ingredient, then you add your flour until you get to the right consistency.
This is just to make it all the sticky parts a little bit drier and more manageable.
Yeah, I'm getting there though.
Well,
Shouldn't be
looks
too much.
good.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much more flour needed. I'm actually at the point where
You're actually kneading the flour, even though you don't need it. That was funny, I think.
very funny.
Yeah. So here she is now. This is Muriel in her kitchen.
I'm
Okay,
about a little over 4.5 cups, and my dough is exactly where I want it to be. It's not sticky anymore. It's not hard. It actually, I can work it really easily. I flour a little bit my surface as I'm just shaping it into a ball, but I'm actually not going to roll it on the counter, and I'm not going to use the counter to make my cookies. I just want to make sure that I get it to a smooth consistency and that I see that I can work it easily. So there we go. My cookie dough is ready, and I'm just going to wash my hands, and I'm going to show you how I shape them, how I put them on the pan, how I prepare them. And we're going to put them in the oven so that I can show you the end result, and then I'm going to show you the other pastry recipe that I have.
Also, please be reminded that it's at 350, right?
Yeah, my oven is
It's
preheated at 350. And it's ready for me to put my cookies inside. Now, those cookies, I find some people like them a little bit harder, and some people like them a little bit soft. So this cookie is easily, you can cook it a little bit longer and have the outside a little bit crunchy and the inside a little bit softer. But my son and my husband at times, they like it a little bit more tender. So that's going to be decided by the amount of time that you leave the cookie in the oven. And I'm going to show you both steps. We're going to leave them for about, and again, the timing that I'm going to give you is really based on my oven. So depending if your oven is newer or older, if it warms up really quickly, if it gets to a very high temperature, depending on where you put it in the oven as well, it could cook faster. So really basically, don't leave the kitchen, don't go for a little, walk. You stay next to your oven when you're baking, unless it's a cake and you have the timing, you stay close by, and you watch it with the light of the oven, and you make sure that it's exactly where you want it to be before you take it, for you to take it out on time. So I am going to use my cookie or my dough scraper to cut my dough into 4 equal parts. So I made like 4 equal parts. Easier for me to sort of shape my dough into a log, and then I'm going to cut my dough okay. $16 pieces. So this is going to give you about over 60 cookies, depending on how big you want them. I find that they get even bigger in the oven. So I take each of my little parts and I roll them into a little log, and I'm going to place them on my cookie sheet. So I lined a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and I preheated my oven at 350. Now I'm going to shape my cookies, and I'm going to leave a space between each cookie because, like I said, they're going to spread in the oven and they're going to get a bit bigger, so you don't want to stick them together. Those cookies, after that, I'm going to show you a little design that I do on them, and I sprinkle a little bit of sugar and I bake them. I'm first going to bake them for about 15 minutes. That's going to give me a little bit of a more tender cookie. And then I'm going to bake them 5 minutes further, and that's going to give me about 22 minutes. That's going to give me the crunchier cookie. Again, as you saw, it didn't really take too much time to make the cookie dough, and it's not taking me too much time to shape them. Like I said, within an hour, you have cookies ready out from the oven, warm and ready for your family or your guests. So one morning, whip them up quickly, and you have a fresh batch of cookie. They actually, in a cookie jar like I have on the counter, or in an airtight container, they keep outside for 2-3 weeks. Without losing its crunch or taste or even freshness. And in the freezer, they'll keep for 3-4 months.
Yeah, take that.
So if you know that you have like a celebration coming up or a holiday, easily you can whip them up, freeze them, and keep them in the freezer, and you just have to take them out a little hour before you need to use them, and they're ready to go. Okay, so now I'm at my second piece of dough that I'm cutting into equal parts.
Can I try one?
Yeah. Pas trop long. Yeah, that's great.
I like mine. I mean, you know.
He likes his better, I know. What can I tell you?
No,
The
really.
man is full of compliments.
Oh no, she's the best cook. Come on, best cook ever. Your best. Here you go.
Okay, so this pan is ready. And because I want to show you the end result, I'm now going to show you what I do with the cookies. So, I take a sharp knife. And you can or put a line in the middle, like right down the middle, or you can even do 3 diagonal lines. I'm going to let Daniel bring the camera close by so that he can show you what it looks like. So again, you can or put a line in the middle, or 3 lines like that, once the cookies are gonna bake, it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna have a little bit more of a finished look, better than just having them with nothing on them. And to that, I'm going to add some regular sugar on top of them. So you don't really need to put anything on the cookie before you sprinkle the sugar. It's going to adhere to the dough easily, and it's just going to give it a little bit of a nice color and sheen when they bake in the oven.
And it's a beautiful taste to it.
It is very nice. It adds a little bit. It's not a cookie that's too sweet when you eat it, actually.
No, not at all.
It's really nice and
Then you
light.
don't have to take any sugar on your tea or your coffee.
Yeah, actually, it's really great.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, it didn't take long to whip them up. And now I'm going to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. So, it's 4:24. We're going to take them out at about 4:40. And then I'll show you at that point what they look like. So right now I'm going to be preparing peanut baked truffle. So it's a baked sort of Moroccan pastry that is the dough is requires no flour, so it's like gluten-free. It's actually one that we prepare for Passover because it doesn't require any flour, and you can have it during the holiday, but we serve it also for Mimuna at the end of Passover, and it's really, really beautiful.
Question for you.
Yeah.
If somebody is allergic to peanuts,
Then they can do it. If they're not allergic to other nuts, then they can do it with ground almonds.
ground almonds
Yeah.
or like walnuts or something like that? Also, or walnut is a bit too oily, I think. And you did it. You did it here, right?
I'm going to show you what I did actually.
This is the place where she made it.
So
Here it is.
I bought blanched
Peanuts.
raw peanuts that I put on a cookie sheet covered with parchment paper, and I roasted them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Again, this is based on my oven heat. And I roasted them until they became a bit of a golden color. And then I took a nut coffee grinder and I put in batches, and I prepared 4 cups of ground roasted peanuts. So in my bowl, I have 4 cups of ground roasted peanuts. So make sure that when you get your peanuts that they don't have any skin on them. So those were, like you saw, blanched or white raw peanuts that I roasted and I grounded. So I have 4 cups in here. I have 3 yellow of egg, 3 yellow egg. I have 1 teaspoon or half a pack of baking powder. So 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon and 1 cup of sugar. So let me get the sugar.
Fascinating, to watch all this, because you just eat the cookies, you appreciate them, but you don't know what goes into them till you watch it.
So I'm going to put 1 cup of sugar.
So this is half a cup, right? So 2 times this half a cup, so it's
A cup of sugar.
1 cup of sugar.
And a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Makes the medicine go down.
The medicine go down. Yeah, so a teaspoon of cinnamon. So now I'm going to start blending all the ingredients. And I'm I have 2 eggs out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the eggs one at a time, because depending on how large the yellow of my eggs are, how oily your cacahuete, your peanuts are, and how everything combines together, you might not need the 2 eggs. You want to make sure that with your hands you try to combine the crushed peanuts with all your other ingredients, and you want to form again a dough that's you know, sticks together, that all the ingredients are blended, and that you can make little balls. So I know right away that I need to add my egg.
Just want the yellow on that one too, or
No,
just this
a
one
whole-
is
yeah.
a whole egg?
So I've checked it, it's good to go. I can add it, and again now I'm gonna incorporate
So
it.
the whole egg is really to put everything together, to cement everything.
That's right. So the yellow
Yeah.
to start, because that gives it a little bit of a richer, deeper flavor. And then the white of that egg is more the glue binding. So I can see that my dough is really, you know, more sticky now, getting together, combining. There's less peanuts that are dry on the bottom, but I still feel that for the size of the
You wanna
egg
take
and the
another one?
amount, I'm gonna need another one. So you have to put it in the glass bowl. Okay. So this recipe also, some people
Smells amazing, by the way.
add ground cloves or other flavoring, or even a little bit of rose water to the filling before they bake it. I like it with just the cinnamon. It pleases more people. It's lighter and softer. So now, as you can see, as soon as I added that second egg, I was able to combine the dough very, very well. And I was able to get it together really easily.
Yeah, only Moroccan housewives, I think, use a knife to clear up their hands. So don't do that at home if you can. That's it. What is she doing? She's scraping her hands.
With a sharp knife.
With a sharp knife. It's okay. That's the way we do it here. And look how beautiful it looks. I know the smell is so reminiscing of my childhood. We used to eat these wonderful cookies during high holidays and Passover, Mimuna.
And you would go in the kitchen and smell that. It smells
That's
really,
exactly-
really beautiful.
Exactly the smell. Brings back a lot of memories. Kitchen, there's no other place where you can find so many memories as in the kitchen.
Actually, food, I have to say. Food brings you
100%.
back to your childhood. It actually brings you back sometimes to a moment. It brings you back to a milestone. Something you're going to put in your mouth, or a dish you're going to order, let's say, at a restaurant, and you're going to say, oh my God, I had this on my honeymoon.
What was our first meal
What?
together?
Actually, we went out with some friends and we had a drink. We didn't really have a meal.
But what was our first meal?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh my goodness, you can't remember. You can't remember?
I can't remember.
Oh my God.
You really remember?
Not at all. But
Okay.
I thought you would.
No.
You remember everything usually.
Yeah,
and you
I know.
always blame me that I don't remember things.
Yeah, no, but I don't remember the
Not at all.
first thing we ate. No, it's like 30 some years ago. I'm not going to remember what we ate.
You just said that, you know, memories and everything. No?
No, you didn't take me out to a special restaurant for me to remember.
Well, now you see, it's getting personal.
Yeah.
Everything is personal.
Yeah.
Anyways, I remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember we ate something. It was it cookies? No, was it like ice cream? Oh, I know what it was.
Oh.
The first thing we ate together was popcorn in a movie. And an olive at the bar. Remember the bar and the olives? We had to go around the block and go back to the bar to get the olives? No? Okay, it doesn't matter. Use the bigger one. So now, as the cookies, the first batch of cookies is baking. It's almost there. We're going to place little what is it called?
Baking cups.
Baking cups into a
Cookie sheet.
cookie sheet, and we will show you, and they're going to be amazing. So usually we can use smaller ones.
Oh, usually we do use smaller ones.
So we do use smaller ones, but this time
But we moved.
we moved, and you're going to have to handle it this way, okay?
We moved and...
So you can put more, I guess.
Well, we moved and I can't find... No.
No.
I can't find the smaller size baking cups. So I'm at least going to show you what to do. So you
beautiful.
shape them in a ball and you throw them in a ball that has icing sugar.
Wow.
Try to keep the size the same.
Let me show them how to do that. That's good.
You can see, thanks to the eggs, the ball is staying together.
Looks like meatballs.
Well, it's a nut ball.
Who are you calling a nut ball?
I don't know. But right now I'm making lots of nut balls.
Here you go.
Okay, there we go. And I'm throwing them in the icing sugar. Once I have a few balls in the icing sugar, I'm going to swish around my plate and get them all coated. And then I'm going to place them in my 2 big baking cups that are getting me very annoyed.
Why?
Because it's not going to have the same result. Yeah, we're going to forgive me because this move has been very difficult. In a sense that we have to be very patient. We have to wait for some normalcy to get back, some of the stores to reopen, some of the places where I used to get my stuff. And I also have a few of my kitchen stuff still in boxes because we're waiting for a little storage unit to come, which is going to take a little while. And in the meantime, I thought I had my box of all my baking stuff out, and I don't have my little cups.
That's okay. We're going to forgive you for that. But
so look at that.
I'll do it next time.
I have my plate and my balls are in the icing sugar, and now I'm going to swish them around.
Oh my
Swish them around, and don't do what I'm doing now, because if you swish them around and you don't play with them too much, they're going to keep their shape. So right now I'm going to put them. Now, the beauty of putting them in the right size baking cup is that they're going to cook in that cup. That's going to keep them...
Take that shape.
Keep them tight, and then they're just going to puff up a little bit, and you can serve them directly in the baking cup. So maybe you can show them. I'm going to do a few more. So that
so now this is how
we can bake them.
This is how it looks like, but actually, like Muriel said, when it's smaller containers of the cups, then it really fits in very beautifully. So here we go. We're back.
I'm going to continue just doing. I'm going to do 7 more so that I fill my pan. And when I take my cookies out, we're going to talk about the cookies. Daniel and I are going to make a tea that we're going to do a l'chaim with you guys. And then in the meantime, the truffles are going to bake, and I'm going to show you the end result because they take no time.
This is the tea, the mint tea we're going to have together.
Well, that's the mint leaves.
Oh, that's what I meant. This, you know.
Yeah. It really smells yummy, huh?
I love that smell. So we have 5, 6, 7, 2 more, sweetie. You could have made them like a bigger ball so that you can fit them in there, but actually it's going to be too after, right? No, she likes hers with smaller things. I understand that. Okay, small.
Okay, so again, swish, swish, swish in the icing sugar. Already, it smells really nice and it's not even cooked. And I always say, something that smells really nice when it's raw is going to smell and taste delicious when it's cooked.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Okay, so
it's almost 4:30, 4:38, so almost
4
4:40.
minutes.
And
so I'm going to wash my
minutes.
hands.
Oh, what am I washing your hands for? Okay, so this is how it looks like before the... He's trying to call me, so I'm going to try to let that go for now. And should we start with the... I'm going to make the tea.
Yeah, you can boil some
I'm going to boil some water. So I'm just going to show you how to boil water because I want to do something. I want to be able to do something. So the water thing is a very simple kind of process.
Don't do that.
What? Some people like to just throw the water inside the container without really checking the water temperature before they put it in.
No, then
what? I'm waiting for you, so in the meantime, I'm telling them how to warm up water.
No. Now, if you want, some people, they top...
Oh, show them one. Bring it closer.
I'm not going to do it for all of them. But if you want, just to finish a little bit, I think you're going to need to bring the phone because I don't want to make them fall.
100%.
So if you bring the... It's going to be better for me.
So then, if you want to adorn it a little bit, you
want to
take
decorate
your
it a little bit. You take some roasted peanuts and you press it on the top like this.
Look at this.
And it just finishes the pastry.
It's actually a decor, really, a decor.
Yeah, and then also it adds texture because when you're going to bite into the cookie, you're going to have a crunchy bite. So it's 4:40 and I'm going to see what's happening with my cookies. So I can tell you already, they're getting there, but they need a few more minutes.
Yes.
So maybe you can show them a little bit closely.
Oh my.
So we have them in the oven for about 15 minutes.
Yes.
And they're cooked, but a bit too light for my liking. So I'm going to put them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. But I'm going to actually put those as well inside. They're going to go...
peanuts on these ones?
No, they're going to go for 15 minutes. But I'm going to have a close watch on them. So I'm going to open the oven in about 5 minutes and I'll check the
situation.
I'll check the cookies. In the meantime, I'm going to shape some more cookies.
And while she's doing the cookies, I'm going to make some tea, some Moroccan mint tea.
So I have some tea, mint that's washed and checked already in the fridge.
Okay. You're correct. This is how we make our tea. I'm going to take some mint tea like this. And
Mint
we're going,
leaves.
yeah, I always say mint tea, I don't know why. Yeah, because it's going to be, these mint leaves are going to become mint tea. So I'm going to take the mint leaves and I'm going to tear them and we're going to, they're washed already?
Mm-hmm. They're ready. But
just
you
a
can
little
rinse
bit again,
them.
rinse them again, even if you're washed. And then usually what I do is I crumple them up a little bit so that I get the juice out, starting
Release a little bit of the
some
flavor.
of the flavor. And then you can smell it. I wish you can smell it actually, because the smell.
And we're starting to smell the cookies as well. The house is really smelling really, really nice.
Yeah. So I don't think we need any sugar in the tea, right? because
You don't, really?
we usually put a little bit just to enhance a little bit of the taste, but not much really.
Pas comme ça. J'ai le coupe nice.
A little bit of sugar. The middle medicine goes down, and then we're going to put the hot water in.
And I'm shaping a few more cookies, and I'm going to ask if you can take me out another cookie sheet with some parchment so I can put those on, please.
Yes.
Just trying to keep track of the time so I don't overbake the cookies or the cacahuete pastries, the peanut pastries.
Yeah, we're almost done actually. Our show is almost done. Imagine, look how fast, how time goes by when you're having fun. Right?
Right.
Yes.
I certainly am having fun because I'm getting a heads up preparing for Shabbat.
Yes.
And my kids are going to be really thrilled because they're going to have fresh pastry and fresh cookies ready
Yes.
for the weekend and for Shabbat, which is really great.
And everybody's invited to come and join us.
I wish.
Don't give them the address, sweetheart, because they'll show up. We want them to show up. Ay, la, 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 la. Dee, da, 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 da. Dee, da, 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 da. It's beautiful to spend time in the kitchen, so we ask everyone to please take time to spend some quality time in the kitchen with your spouse, right?
With your loved ones.
With your loved ones.
Kids, it's very easy to prepare these cookies with your kids.
Oh yeah.
So get them involved because they're going to love it.
You don't have the time?
Yeah. One more minute.
One more minute before we take out the...
before we check the cookies.
Check the cookies and
I'm
also
going to need another...
another pan?
Yeah. Again, I'm at my last piece
You're
of
give you a
dough.
bigger pan?
That's great. This one is great. Again, for the size of eggs that I had, for the type of, how dense my flour was and not so humid in my house, I used about a little over 4.5 cups of flour. And now I'm doing the last batch of cookies. And I'm going to check on the ones that are in the oven. And I'm going to show you the end result of both pastries, so the cookie and the Moroccan peanut pastry. The house is smelling really delicious, and Daniel is really excited to have a snack. I have to say, he loves the cookies.
Can't you see?
Yeah, he loves the cookies.
I love the cookies. Fly me to the moon and let me dance among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
I'm done making the cookies.
Okay guys, we're gonna open up soon, so get ready.
I'm gonna finish shaping or putting the decor on the cookies, and I'm going to open the oven. My cookies are ready. Yep. Those one you can do with the three lines.
3 lines. I have
Okay.
a feeling.
So I'm going to take the cookies out of the oven.
Fly me to the moon. Let me see.
And as soon as Daniel finishes that, he's going to show you what they look like.
And here you go. We can put all these two. Oh my god, they look good.
And it smells really nice.
Yeah. So here you go, the end results of the cookies, and then the other Moroccan ones are coming out very soon. So this is how they
So
look
as you
like.
can see, they've colored on the bottom. They have a nice little sheen on the
Smell
top.
amazing.
Smells really nice. We're gonna let them cool a few minutes, and my other ones are baking really nicely. I'm just gonna add the sugar on top of the.
This one right here.
Little sugar right here on top of those cookies. And we can put them in the oven to bake as well.
Well, here you have it. Some great cookies with some beautiful Moroccan tea.
So I promised that within an hour you would be finished baking your cookies. And I did too, but if you make just one batch of cookies, within an hour you are done and they are out and ready to enjoy. Now those cookies, if you really like coconut, you can reduce a little bit the flour, add a little bit of coconut. If you like lemon or orange flavor, you can actually add a little bit of lemon zest or orange zest, fine zest, and add it to the dough. Will give a very nice flavor to your cookie.
Mm-hmm.
We like them with the vanilla extract and just plain like that, but easily you can get them to the flavor and taste that you like.
And here you go. 1, 2.
So the other ones are smelling really nice.
Oh,
and
they look
they
amazing.
look really nice. So we're going to leave them a few more minutes, and we're going to pour
Some tea.
some tea.
Tea for 2 and 2 for 2. I love you and
You love me.
there you go, girl. Well, look at this. They have so many beautiful people. What time do I show up? Lior, you can come in anytime, Habibi. Mikasa Sukasa.
Oh, I dropped it.
Mikasa Sukasa. Please show up. And then you have taste test is right. And then we have I can't see everybody now because it's here you go, Liam. You have Rosalind Toller. Hi Rosalind. Sam Ezerzer, how you doing, my brother? Carole Ben Simon, bonjour, ma chérie. Dora Beros, how are you, Dora? And Claude Darman, how are you, is watching. Blanca, say hi to Blanca.
Hi guys.
Hi, Blanca.
So here, we're
And
going to
Carol
do
and Corinne.
a prayer, and we're going to do a l'chaim for
So Baruch atah
everybody.
Adonai melech haolam borei minei mezonot l'chaim. Okay, sorry. We shouldn't enjoy things in front of people.
Very yummy. Another prayer.
But we're going to make you. So Corinne, I love you. How are you? Lee Bailey, you better know how to do this for your wife. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה bidvaro. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Oh,
Yummy.
yummy. Nofar, hi. How are you? I hope all is well. Shira Taylor.
Yummy, yummy.
How are you, Shira, sweetie? Heidi Rappaport, how are you, my dear? And who else is there? You have Jason Kirschman. How you doing, pal? Musa. Shalom Aleichem, Musa. David Cohen from Israel. Oh, my cousin. Beautiful. Peter Kovac. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. I hope I'm not missing anybody because it's hard to get everybody to... Rose Raskin, how are you? Eric Zunder, I did say Nachama Sonnenschein, how are you? Cheryl Breger, how are you? And Ilan Dagan, a cook. Be careful. He's a very good cook. He's a chef. Julie Cohen, Bakri, comment ça va? Nice to see you. Emmanuel, how are you? Ophir Levy, Shalom, Brigitte Reva, Gilles Mordechai, and everybody else. I want to wish you all the best. We want to thank you for joining us, Quarantine Cooking with Muriel and Daniel. Enjoy. And I think we're going to... Still on? No. Here, we're still here.
Oh, we're here.
So here, and we wanted to show you very quickly what it looks like. Come on, bring them over.
They're not 100% ready, but look already.
Look at that.
They're changing
Oh
color
my
and
God.
they're cracking on the top.
You know
Look
what?
how
These are the
beautiful.
perfect size. What are you talking about?
They would be better with the other side.
Maybe I might be better. But anyways, here you go. We love you all. We want to wish you all the best.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to everybody. And this is from Quarantine Cooking with Muriel and Daniel.
From our home to yours with love. We
Amen.
miss you.
Ciao.